Welcome back, lovely wilder people. We are back on the North Downs Way after a decent night of camping. We are doing something slightly different today. We're not continuing on a straight linear line. What we are doing is going from Y, where we finished in the previous video, up to do a spur, part of the alternate of the North Downs Way, up to Canterbury. But we're not going to do the entire alternate. I just want to be able to complete a section of this at Canterbury, and then we'll continue on the last 23 or 24 miles from Y to Dover. So the only bad thing about doing this spur is we are having to backtrack about a mile back from Y along the North Downs Way to cut over to hit the other spur to Canterbury. So we're repeating some of what we've done already. We're coming up on some geese at that farm where we had the cute little pigs and the donkeys. A little bit more active this morning by the looks of it. I think this guy might be coming to say hello. We didn't get to see him yesterday. Hello. Do we do scritches? And don't know which one's which. Oh, they're very interesting Kai though. Well, these guys are really cute, really tiny, like miniature. We've got some friendly geese over here too. Hey guys. Hello geese. So these guys are a lot more active this morning, and they definitely wanted to come say hi when I showed up. I think they might be waiting to be fed. But listen to that sound, it's so cute. So we're back on the North Downs Way alternate. We are now walking towards Canterbury. So it's supposed to be about 14 miles from Y station to Canterbury station, I think, according to the guide. So I'm guessing probably about 13 miles from here. The last few sections of this trail haven't had that many hills, but this section, and I believe hiking out of Y towards Dover, we've now got a hill. It's not super steep, but it's not the easiest. Just really glad that we're in shade because it is getting quite warm out in that sun. The air temperature itself is lovely, but that sun is feels a little brutal right now. Just off the trail, we're getting some beautiful views of over the Kent A1B, and just off in the distance over there is Ashford. One thing I do love about this time of year, even though it's hot and it's kind of boring sometimes, is days like this and walking through stuff like this where you've got that golden light highlighting all these leaves. That's just so mottled, and it's like, and the fairy fingers of sunlight coming down, shafting down between the branches and the leaves. It's just absolutely beautiful. Just saw this off the side of the trail, guys. This is an old beech tree, but look at the size of this thing. This is massive. What a crazy tree. I was expecting that to be, initially when I looked at it, thinking it was a yew tree because they're renowned for being old. But you've got to wonder how old something like this tree is, and it's so grown convoluted and got bits of other trees almost growing out of it, and a lot of the branches are on the ground because they've gotten too heavy. What a crazy, crazy tree. So part of the reason I wanted to do this section as well as the North Downs Way and finish it completely is because we have been following so much the Pilgrim's Way as we've hiked the North Downs Way. So the Canterbury and Canterbury Cathedral is the end point of the Pilgrim's Way. So even though we haven't done the entire length of the Pilgrim's Way, I kind of want to finish the Pilgrim's Way at the end of the Pilgrim's Way. So that's part of the reason I chose to do this extra section and not just keep going on to Dover. Other than the fact that we're walking along a byway open all traffic, which means dirt bikes coming through here, this is some of my favourite places to walk through because wide open, deciduous woodland. So I think what I like about it, and looking back through this way, it sort of feels like a tree cathedral because there's no low growing branches, so all we've got is this beautiful arching canopy reaching to the heavens. And all this space where you almost like have columns in a church. I think that's what I like about it so much. It just feels so light and airy and ethereal in a lot of ways because what we're getting is that beautiful mottled green light through. So complete opposite from what we were just in. Very gloomy, but almost still feels like a cathedral in some ways. Now just through this fence, I'm going to zoom in so you can have the noise, we're getting our first views of Canterbury Cathedral. Right there. So there's a sign here, and like I said, we can see Canterbury Cathedral way out there. It's about 7.5 miles from this spot. But this sign right here was put here, I think it was 2015, to mark the 25th pilgrimage from St. Michael's to Canterbury Cathedral in aid of homelessness. Every year people cover the 74 miles over 4 days to go from St. Martin's in London all the way to Canterbury Cathedral. So a little bit of information there, but that's where we're heading. So we're just making the descent into Chilham, and unfortunately it's like the worst part of the trail I've been on for footbed. It's really unpleasant. It's nothing but chalk, but it's really rough. So in the winter, if this is wet, it's going to be slicker than heck. So this section of the trail definitely not to be done in winter unless you feel like, you know, going skiing or something. Anyway, guys, so yeah, we're going to come into Chilham, and then we're sort of following the river around to come into Canterbury. I don't know what this estate is, but it's massive, and they've really gone overkill with the fence, I think. First off, it's pointy tops, and then they got barbed wire on top of it as well. So this big estate is Chilham Park that we're just coming up to, and the gatehouse looks pretty mega. I don't know if it's like privately owned or if it's owned by a National Trust, or maybe it's just a hotel now. I don't know, but whew, lots and lots of buildings that are sort of built into the walls which surround the entire thing. That must have been some work to build that. What a lovely little village, guys. This is gorgeous. So we're passing the church and we're heading out on the North Downs Way back towards, where are we going? Canterbury. But anyway, this tree is 1,300 years old. Unfortunately, it was fatally damaged in the Great Storms of 1987. But you can see how massive it would have been. But it's now protected and covered in honeysuckle. Unfortunately, we're doing a bit of road walking for a while, but this does not bode well. Oh, finally off the road, but we're walking by yet another orchard with a very different kind of apple. Yet again, a very, very dark green. I don't know if you can see through there. Those are massive. I wonder if those are cooking apples. So not only are we on our 5th or 6th orchard at this point, but this one is absolutely massive. It's so big, in fact, that it's taken us, I don't know, at least a half hour to walk from one side to the other, so a good mile. And it goes as far as the eye can see out that way. What's also interesting though is that we haven't seen the cathedral or Canterbury since that one first sighting of it. There's just been no view of it, which is quite interesting. You get it way back there, but then nothing after that. We're just coming into, I think it's pretty much the last village, Chartham Hatch, before we get to the outskirts of Canterbury, and then between here and there we're going through No Man's Orchard Nature Reserve. So that'll be a really nice way to finish out this section of the North Downs Way. Just came around the corner to these guys. I don't think they're as interested in us. Oh, no, I lie. We've got one coming to say hi. Oh, hello, buddy. Hello. Well, we found the orchard. And the reason it's called No Man's Orchard is because it was a plot of land that straddled the ownership of two owners, I guess, two people who own the land. So that's where it comes in. It belonged to no one man. It was basically turned into a community orchard. And unfortunately, unlike, you know, commercial orchards, it can't even compete with the amount of production of food. But basically, you can come in and eat an apple if you want it. So we might try a couple. But it's maintained for wildlife, and it's protected under the Country Stewardship Act, which is pretty cool. So yeah, some of these old trees, definitely different from the immaculate ones that you see in traditional orchards that are kept really short. All right, guys, here goes. I don't even know what kind I'm eating. Bit tart, yeah, but that's pretty good. Still needs to ripen up a little bit. Might have enough for another one, but it's kind of cool to be able to do that. Well, I'm used to seeing sheep in fields. Never seen sheep on a forestry track before like this. I think we're being stalked. I'm glad this isn't cows, guys. Well, that was definitely a slightly strange experience, and we got chased. Well, not chased, but followed. And that one that got the closest to us actually let me pet it. And I don't think I've ever petted a sheep before. Can't believe it let me do that. And where am I going? I think I'm going this way. Oh gosh, guys, we got 2 miles left. Look at that. I do feel like it's quite fitting to do this walk, this hike, finish at Canterbury Cathedral on a Sunday. Now, 2 miles to Canterbury, I don't know if that's the cathedral or if that's just Canterbury itself, but I'm guessing being it's North Downs Way and it ends at the cathedral, that will be the 2 miles. But so it's only about 45 minutes. I can't believe that. Well, that's it. We've left nature behind. We're in the outskirts of Canterbury. Just got a little bit longer to go before we get to the cathedral. Getting our gross views of Canterbury Castle right there. Looks like we're gonna have to wait for a train. Well, we got to Canterbury Cathedral, but it's closed. Seriously, who closes a church and pays £14 to get into it? That's ridiculous. Well, that's definitely frustrating to not be able to get up and touch the cathedral, get in it, but it is what it is, I guess. And we made it to the cathedral, we made it to Canterbury, and we're pretty much done. Well guys, I'm going to leave this video here. Well, I've got a little bit of space from people. I hope this was more interesting videos than some of the trail ended up being. But anyway guys, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health, and thanks for watching.